Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Jesse and you're watching Riverfront Aquatics. And today we've got some things breeding in the fish room. So stay tuned and I'm going to show you how we hatch eggs. Okay guys, so next what you're going to want to do is get a tank set up for your angel eggs. And we're going to be using an antifungal with these eggs. Alright, so let's get our eggs gathered up and I'll show you the next part of the process. And these eggs are going to be in here in 3, 2, 1. And now our angelfish eggs are in the tank. Make it in kind of close for you guys. All kinds of little eggs. So angelfish eggs and most fish eggs are pretty prone to fungusing. So what we're gonna do is I like to put my air stone right in the middle of kind of the pile of the angel eggs. And then we're gonna add some methylene blue. And this is gonna help prevent fungus from occurring on our fish eggs. Now you might find a couple that still fungus over the course of a couple days. You want to get a pair of tweezers and kind of remove those so that the fungus doesn't spread to the rest of your eggs. So now to dose with our methylene blue, we're going to grab a pipette. We're going to get some in there. And then we're going to add a couple drops to the tank. You don't need a lot. Believe it or not, a little bit of this will go a long way. I might do a little extra on this. Okay. Now we're going to let this blend in with your water. Another thing you're going to want to do is darken out this tank. So if you're like me and you've got spare aquarium parts laying around, what I'm going to use is going to be an old fish tank lid off of an old project. So this generally, just lay it up here, kind of upside down, and now they're in darkness. The reason for putting them in darkness is when they first hatch out of the egg and they're seeing things for the first time, the light could possibly stress them out. And with that light stressing them out, it could make your fish sick or they could die, and we don't want that. Now eventually, as your angelfish eggs hatch, they're going to get to their next stage, which is they become little wigglers. Now as you can see, these little guys are already starting to move around, which is the whole purpose of us getting our brine shrimp up and going. Won't be too much longer and these guys are going to be free swimming around and super hungry. Okay, so now that we've got some free swimmers, we're going to go ahead and set up our brine shrimp hatchery. What we're going to be using is some Fritz aquarium salt. And we're going to be using the Aquarium Co-op brine shrimp eggs. Now what you're going to want to do is use a tablespoon of aquarium salt to a tablespoon of eggs. I found works the best in this setup. We're going to first add our aquarium salt, and then we're going to fill it up with water, get the air pump running, and then we'll go ahead and add our brine shrimp eggs. So first let's start off with our tablespoon of salt. And now we've got our water in our brine shrimp hatchery. Bear in mind you're going to want to keep this water between 78 and 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Now we're going to go ahead and put on our lid with our airline tubing. And we're going to let that cycle for a little bit and mix the salt in with the water, and then we're going to come back and add in the brine shrimp eggs in about 2 to 3 minutes. Now the Aquarium Co-op brine shrimp comes with a measuring spoon for your brine. In case you do not get the kind of brine shrimp that comes with a measuring spoon, once you get her measured up, take your brine shrimp, dump it in the hatchery. Now we're going to let this brine shrimp hatchery run for about 2 days, and then we're going to come back and harvest them and feed them to our new free swimming angelfish. Alright guys, so at this point I'm going to go ahead and interrupt our video to talk to you guys about some things coming up with Riverfront Aquatics. This year, in a couple days, Riverfront Aquatics will be coming to Aquashella in Chicago. Now for those of you who do not know what Aquashella is an event for hobbyist YouTubers, pretty much anyone. Anybody that has a desire or passion for fish, reptiles, so on and so forth. Now you've probably seen my cousin on TikTok. He has also shared with you that we will be going to Aquashella. I'm announcing it on our YouTube platform. I'll leave a link to our TikTok below in case you haven't gone and checked that out yet. But this year, Riverfront Aquatics is strictly only going as VIPs. We're basically just going to be guests this year. I'm going to do a little more research into what it takes to set up our own booth, possibly for next year, 2022. Let us know what you guys would think about that. I mean, we could do tons of things up there. We could set up our booth and sell merch and maybe bring some fish to sell to you guys. If you've been following along with the channel, I'm sure we could take some of these angelfish that you see behind me and put those up for sale. Let me know what you guys think. But anyhow, I'm super excited about going to this, and if you haven't already, be sure to like this video and subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. And now I'm going to get you guys back to the video, and we're going to continue on with our baby angelfish. So let's get to it. So now, as you can see, our fry have now hatched fully from egg and are free swimming. So don't mind a little bit of the detritus in the bottom of the tank. That is okay. In some instances, the fry will actually feed on this. But now that these guys are free swimming, we're going to go ahead and start feeding them brine shrimp a few times a day, once or twice. And you're also going to want to continue on with 50% water changes on whatever you're hatching your fry out in, because you're going to want to get as much of that methylene blue that we used out as possible. This could actually harm our new little fry. And we're going to want to grow these guys up and keep them as healthy as possible. Now I have also showed you guys our other fry tank in this video. So as you can see with this tank, it's a lot less blue. I've gone ahead and gotten most of the methylene blue out of this tank. I'm still going to continue on with water changes and possibly even add a sponge filter at this point. For the time being, I've just been using an air stone over here for them. And these guys are as well getting brine shrimp twice a day until they get bigger, and then we're going to move them on to a larger fry food. Now, I'm also considering combining the fry from these two tanks, being that this tank behind me already has a sponge filter in it. Since we're going to be leaving town, I am thinking it would be wiser to put them all in a tank with a large sponge filter that's already been cycled and running for a few months, and just entrusting to someone to come by and feed the fry for me while we're out of town, rather than instruct them on doing water changes and so on and so forth. But next I'm going to go ahead and walk you guys through harvesting and collecting some of your brine shrimp and feeding it to your fry. And then I got to get on the road to get to Aquashella. Now, I'll admit I totally forgot to film collecting the brine shrimp. However, my cousin has another video on this channel on starting the brine shrimp, harvesting them, and feeding them as well. What I'm going to show you is the after product of me feeding them. So let's get to feeding our fry, and I'm going to go over how we go about it here at Riverfront Aquatics. So now, you've probably got a couple of these pipets laying around your fish room. I collect my brine shrimp into a jar. We'll collect some in our pipet. We're not even going to feed this many, but you'll only give a few little drops. You don't want to give them more than they can really eat. We'll leave our brine in there and let our fry get to eating their brine. And now we'll go over and we'll feed our other brine tank. Now that we're at this fry tank, go ahead, do the same thing with our pipet. Put a couple drops in there. I'll give these guys a little bit more since they're a few days older. And I'm giving them extra as well because we'll be leaving town and I want to fatten them up a little bit. Tonight I'm going to do a water change on this tank, and it's going to be rocking and rolling and ready to go. Alright guys, so that's it for our video today. Hopefully we see you at Aquashella this upcoming weekend. Be sure to check us for the Riverfront Aquatics logos. We'll be wearing these shirts up there Saturday. Hope to see you then. But until we come in for our next video at our fish room update, just a little sneak peek on that. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel for future content if you haven't done so already. And thanks for watching, guys.